Welcome to this Giftworks video. My name is Steve Faithful, and this is the first of an 8-part video series that shows you how easy it is to import your donor and donation information using the import tools that we've built into Giftworks. This 8-part video series is one way in which you can get a better understanding of how to import your information into Giftworks, but there's also other resources that are available to you. Right from within Giftworks, you can click the Help button in the upper right-hand corner, and you can search for the word import down at the bottom, and click the search button, and you're going to get information that's relevant regarding importing. One of them, let me point out, is the Print the Giftworks Import Guide link that's near the top. There's also other information, and keep in mind that as you're going through the import process, there's also relevant context-sensitive help that's going to give you information about the task that you're working on within the import process. In addition to the help that's built within Giftworks, you can also go to our website, and there's other resources that are available there. For instance, if I go to our website, and you can click on the Support and Services link, this is at www.missionresearch.com, you can click the Support and Services link at the top, and in the middle of the screen, there's a Guides link that if you click on and scroll down a bit, there is 2 import guides, one that's relevant for Giftworks 2008 and one that's available for Giftworks 2010. And those import guides contain detailed information that can give you additional information about importing into Giftworks. And then from time to time, we also add new videos. If you click on the Classes and Tours link at the top, and on the left-hand side, there's under the Giftworks video library, there's also a list of videos that we make available, and from time to time, we'll add new ones. There is currently, at least at the time I was recording this video, there's a video dedicated to importing information. This is a video that shows you how to import information. One specific feature that we added in Giftworks 2010. And so I'm sure some of these videos that you're listening to right now will also be posted at our video site. So keep in mind there's other videos that are available in addition to the guides, in addition to the built-in help that's available within Giftworks. Keep in mind that even with all these resources that are available to you, sometimes an import is challenging or perhaps exceeds your ability to format the data in a way that's appropriate or get at the data, and you may need some professional assistance. We at Mission Research have a team that's dedicated to helping you import this information, and we can do it as a service for you. That is a paid service for you. So if somehow this import goes beyond your capabilities or your resources, perhaps you don't have the time for it, or perhaps you just feel it would be a better use of your time to be doing something different while allowing us at Mission Research to be doing it, you can contact your salesperson, contact us at Mission Research to perhaps give you a quote to import your information. But we hope that with the videos that we make available and the documentation we make available, that you will be able to import your information successfully. And what do we mean by a successful import? There are a number of different pieces of information you're going to want to import into Giftworks, and that information can exist in a number of different places. Perhaps for many of you, your information exists in an Excel file, something like this file. This file contains donor information, donation information. Perhaps many of you have your information as it exists in an Excel file. Perhaps some of you have your information in a simple text file, or others of you have it in an Access database, a Microsoft Access database. That information, wherever it exists, contains donor and donation information that you've collected, that you've spent time and effort collecting that information, and to import that information, to have a successful import, we hope that the information as it exists in those files or those databases can be successfully brought into Giftworks, and a successful import is simply information that exists in Giftworks and represents the information correctly and accurately as it existed in the Excel spreadsheet or your text file or your Access database. To us, that's a successful import, when the donors as they existed in your Excel spreadsheet now exist within Giftworks and represent clearly and accurately the way it did within your Excel spreadsheet. So for instance, I have these donors listed here, Steve, Dave, and Mary, and for this to be a successful import, it has their address information and donation information and other information with it. And if I were to import that into Giftworks, I'm going to sign into Giftworks here and show you that I've successfully imported this information. I have Mary, Steve, and Dave, and the information represents what it did in the Excel spreadsheet. And we hope that your information, however it exists outside of Giftworks, can be imported and be accurately represented within Giftworks. Now that we know that that's going to take time, it's going to take energy, that's going to take effort, and it's going to take a lot of thought, to ensure that your information gets into Giftworks accurately. We know that having a successful import takes time, and like I said, takes energy and effort, takes a bit of thought, and we want to encourage you with a few things that hopefully can increase your chances of having a successful import. The first thing is, we want to make sure that you take time to know your data. Some of you listening to this video are very familiar with your information. Perhaps you were the person who created this Excel spreadsheet, or you're the person who designed your Access database, and you're very familiar with what all the columns within your Excel spreadsheet or Access database mean. You have an understanding of what the information represents, and you know how you can identify the information so that as you're making choices about where it needs to go in Giftworks, you have a really good understanding of what this information means. Perhaps others of you listening to this video perhaps have been handed an Excel file, or you've been given an Access database. Perhaps someone else created it and you're not that familiar with the information that's contained in it. We encourage you to have a successful import. We encourage you to take time. Take time to get to know what's in your Excel spreadsheet, or your Access database, or your text file. Get to know what the columns mean, what the information represents, so that when it comes time for you to make the decisions about how it should be brought into Giftworks, you're going to have a better idea on what it represents, so that you can decide where it goes. That process can take some time. Maybe you need to talk with the person who created the Excel spreadsheet, or the Access database, or the text file. Perhaps you need to research to have a better idea on what the information means, so that you'll have all the information necessary to make some good decisions. So not only do we encourage you to take time to get to know your data, we also encourage you to take time to get to know what's available to you within Giftworks. You know, if I click on a donor and I look at all the fields that are available to me, if I edit this donor, I'll see a whole screen full of fields, which includes contact information, address, phone, contact preferences, employment information, development details. We have custom fields down at the bottom. There's a lot of fields and a lot of things that are available to you within Giftworks to help you define your donors. The same thing applies for donations. For every donation, there's a lot of information that you can specify for your donations. And as part of the import process, you're going to have to match up the information that exists in your data, your Excel file, your text file, your Access database, and you're going to have to match it up to a field that exists within Giftworks. And that process can be challenging if you're not that familiar with the fields that are available to you within Giftworks. So we encourage you to take time to get to know Giftworks as well. Go ahead and add a donor. Go ahead and edit a donor. Create donors of different types. Donors that are just donors, or donors with household profiles, or donors with an organizational profile. Go ahead and try to determine what's the best way you want to enter information. Know what's available to you, not only in donors, but also in donations, so that you can make great decisions about where your information goes, whether it exists in Excel or text or an Access database, where it should go within Giftworks. Sometimes we'll encourage people that during the import process is not the best time to make some of those decisions, but rather knowing them in advance will simply make the import process easier. The last thing we encourage people to do is to make sure they spend some time, if necessary, cleaning up some of their data. I know that everyone's familiar with the adage garbage in, garbage out, and with imports it's a little bit different. It's perhaps more appropriately termed garbage out, garbage in, that if your information, and forgive the garbage word, we certainly understand that donors and donations certainly are the last thing from garbage, but the adage is applicable in that if you have information that's inconsistent or perhaps incorrect outside of Giftworks, that is in your Excel file for instance, that when it's brought into Giftworks, it can also create inconsistencies within Giftworks. And so we encourage you to go through. Perhaps, like in this case, I see that Lancaster is spelled wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. I'm going to go ahead and make the term street consistent with the other donors. That's how I like to see my donors. I also know I want to review, maybe if I want to try to check for duplicates, clean up some of the things that could cause some inconsistencies within Giftworks. So we encourage you to take some time, clean up some of those inconsistencies or clean up some of those errors, so that even though there are tools within Giftworks that will help you clean up some information, sometimes the best time to look at it is before you begin to import. And so we encourage you to take some time to do that. In the next video, we're going to give you a quick overview of the whole process so that you'll see how easy it is. But we thank you for watching this. Encourage you to watch part 2 of this video series showing you how easy it is to import into Giftworks.